Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Mickey 17. And this is the latest film from writer-director Bong Joon-ho, based off of Edward Ashton's novel Mickey 7. And this particular film focuses on Robert Pattinson's Mickey Barnes, who is a man who signs up to be an expendable on a trip to an alien planet for terraforming and repopulating, and he signs up for this particular role, expendable, where they clone your DNA, they make a copy, and they put you into all kinds of horrible situations and kill you, and then they just keep making prints of you. And unfortunately, things get more complicated when one day, Mickey 17, the 17th edition of Mickey Barnes, survives unexpectedly, and they already made a copy. And there's conflict, there's mayhem, and this particular film from Bong Joon-ho isn't going to surprise you in terms of how it deals with politics, animal rights, and all kinds of other themes. Similar to Okja, you have this race of this species on this planet that are giant like sand crabs, and they have like tentacles, and it's a very interesting design, and they have a lot of depth and meaning, and how it's like they are the enemy and they are monsters when they don't spend any time trying to connect with them or get to know them. And we, the audience, and Mickey 17 get to see the positives and such and what they're capable of. And that really helps build that empathy, and from there on, they become a very big part of this story. You also have the political aspects, as we have a religious political zealot who is leading this whole entire thing. And in very Trumpism, a lot of Trumpisms, there's a lot of aspects that certainly are heavily borrowed from Donald Trump, and how this film navigates this conflict and his just over-the-top nature, his lack of intelligence, his weird mannerisms, and just his ego, and his acting like a petulant child all the time. And Mark Ruffalo is this Kenneth Marshall, and his wife, played by Toni Collette. And you have these political aspects, and you have like these supporters that are like so religiously following this man, and then you have others that are absolutely disgusted and just want to just scream their frustrations out into the void. And you have all of these different kinds of ideas and so much more. It's like, what's life mean? What does death mean? And Bong Joon-ho tries to balance all kinds of different themes here. A lot of different stories and characters and such, and there's certainly times where the story can get a little overstuffed and maybe a little long-winded. There's a whole entire subplot of these agent characters that, are trying to find evidence to overthrow Mark Ruffalo's character Marshall's rule on this planet. You have all of the scientists, some of which are doing things just for the sake of it without regard for humanity. That's Cameron Britton's character. And you have Patsy Farron's character, Dorothy, who's really looking for the humanity and the love of life in her job. And all with this going on, you have a love story at the center with Robert Pattinson and Naomi Ackie, Mickey 17 and Asha, and Nasha, and their dynamic, you fall in love with. And you see their physicality, their magnetism, their just connection with each other. And it gets more complicated when there's two of them, and where's Nasha going to be pulled? Because this particular Mickey 18 has a very different personality than Mickey 17. And in many ways, there is a way that Mickey 17 wishes that he could be, and he definitely is not. And you have that conflict. This film is structured, it's a bit non-linear. It's one of those things where it starts at wow, I'm at my bottom, and then let's go back to the beginning. And you have some cliches like that. a lot of voiceover, and Robert Pattinson's performance, his voice, is so very particular. It does make it feel more unique and interesting that way, even if you're getting a bunch of exposition dumped on you through this narration. This film is certainly funny. It is so darkly funny. It's wild and crazy. Honestly, Mark Ruffalo and Toni Collette, the two of them together, are downright hilarious with the amount of overacting and just complete absurdity and wild choices they make as actors to bring those to their characters. And Pattinson gets to play two very different versions of Mickey. And their conflict together really spells out a lot. And Pattinson's able to commit to these very different personalities and make them both feel very authentic. And Aki is so alluring and just has this presence. And there's some fun supporting characters along the way too. But this film does get a little convoluted. It does get a little weary in terms of its focus in that second act. But this has so much to say. It is very funny. It is thrilling. It has its thrilling moments. You have the composer for this film really capture this somber kind of piano-focused score that you don't really expect, but Jung Jae-il just captures something so effective and moving and poignant. And then you have Darius Khondji, who is the cinematographer, and there's bold framing and blocking choices that really make some dynamic shots in this film. And it has great special effects for a film that's not like a huge budget, but Bong Joon-ho's given quite a bit from Warner Brothers and is able to sell a lot. This dark sense of humor. Maybe not as much as you might think based off of the trailer, for sure, but it definitely captures that vibe and tone that Bong Joon-ho is known for. This is not quite on top like a Parasite or Memories of a Murder or even Snowpiercer. I do think that this is a really effective film that has a lot of great elements to it, a lot to say, a lot to chew on, some fantastic performances that really sell this film. And in general, this is a crazy, over-the-top, darkly comedic sci-fi romp that Bong Joon-ho really committed fully to his feel and tone. This is an auteur at work, and it definitely is worth a watch. But those are my thoughts on Mickey 17. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland Reviewer.